Hello, welcome to Matt's Wild About Nature. I'm Matt. I'm here in Dumas, Texas at a pretty special place. It's a little bit further away from the real special place, but still, it's special. And you're going to understand why in a little bit. But I wanted to come here and I wanted to spend some time here and talk to you about something that not a lot of people get to see. You might be able to see the bigger one of what I'm talking about. Many people do. But we're actually doing something that a lot of people don't get to do. And you're going to see that in just a little bit. But I wanted to bring us here because I wanted us to kind of dig into a little bit of history and maybe carve our way through this video. If you think you know what I'm talking about, stick around and we'll find out. So if you guessed that we're in a canyon, you're right. Now, can you figure out which one it is? This is one that most people might not have heard of. At least they might not know about it in the location we're in. I'm standing in the very western edge of the Palo Duro Canyon. It's also known as the Texas Grand Canyon. Now this, like I said, is the very western edge. As I said, we are in Dumas. And the Palo Duro Canyon really starts a little south of Amarillo, Texas, in a city called Canyon, believe it or not. Now, asking what's so special about this canyon? Well, the canyon is the second largest canyon next to the Grand Canyon. Now let me put that in perspective for you. The Grand Canyon is 277 miles long. It is 18 miles wide at its widest, and it is 6,000 feet deep. That is a large canyon, really big. The Palo Duro Canyon, on the other hand, is a tidge bit smaller. It's 120 miles long, 20 miles at its widest, but only 800 feet deep. So it's not anywhere near as big as the Grand Canyon, but still, compared to the rest of the canyons that are in the United States, and yes, there are more canyons than just the Grand Canyon and the Palo Duro Canyon. If you want to figure that out, you can Google all the canyons in the country. But suffice it to say that the Palo Duro is the second largest. Now the Palo Duro Canyon is a little bit different than the Grand Canyon. Now, depending on which timeline you subscribe to, the Palo Duro and the Grand Canyon all formed over millions of years, or it formed quickly. It's whatever timeline you believe in. The Palo Duro Canyon, according to the long-term belief, took millions and millions of years. And it started at the Fox River. And it split in the Fox River. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around so you can kind of see the canyon a bit. And I'm going to talk about it behind the camera like I did in the thunderstorm video, if you saw that. So we're going to start talking about the canyon next. So this is where I am. This is, as I said, the western part of the Palo Duro Canyon. As you can see, it has been carved away. It's something that not a lot of people get to see. I mean, people are going to go see the Grand Canyon and go down into the base of it. They're down where the Colorado River is. But sometimes they don't get to go into the winding parts of the canyon. In fact, the Grand Canyon is a little too big to get into the winding parts. But this is perfect. Because you can see everywhere about how this whole thing is made. It goes on for a very long time. But we're going to talk about a little bit about it. I'm going to show you some other parts. But the Grand Canyon is an amazing canyon. And it's all made out of like sandstone and some other things. The the Palo Duro Canyon, on the other hand, is made out of sedimentary rock. Now, if you were to strip away all the vegetation here, you would see a lot of sedentary layers, like you would at the Grand Canyon. Sedentary rock is basically just rock that has been placed on top of each other. It starts out as mud, and then it hardens over time, and it just compacts itself. One layer goes down, another layer goes down, another layer goes down, and so on and so forth. The difference between the Palo Duro Canyon and the Grand Canyon is that the Grand Canyon has a lot of caves. Palo Duro doesn't have that many. It's only got a couple, and they're not very big because, again, it's only 800 feet versus 6,000 feet deep. But all of this rock here is sedentary. Now, you aren't going to see as much layering here because it's very, very shallow. I would say at the base of this, like right there is the top, I would say maybe this is maybe 30 feet deep. That's it. But when you get down here, you can see some very interesting aspects of the canyon. One of them I want to show to you is behind me, and we're going to take a look at that next. So this is a closer view of the Palo Duro Canyon, the western edge. Now right here is a rather big hole. Now exactly how this formed, I couldn't tell you. I'm not an expert. I have my wind sock on my mic, but even with that, it might be a little difficult to hear me. I do apologize. It is very windy today, and the later in the day it gets, the windier it'll get. But going back to this, there's a couple ideas. If you think about it and just use observation, there's a couple ideas that you could see possibly on what caused this. My idea is that possibly water here came in and got into this hole. But it wasn't a hole at the time. And it got in under it. Because this is all rock. You can see here, this is all rock. So what I'm thinking is that it eroded it from underneath and then created a sinkhole. That's my thought. Because you see these giant boulders here? This doesn't happen from a normal erosion. This happens from like a sinkhole. So that's my thought, is that the water eroded everything underneath. And you'll see this sometimes on highways and roads, especially where there used to be mines. And the mine would either give way or erode away, and it would open up a giant sinkhole. Or you have a flood and the water went under the road, eroded all that away very quickly, because underneath those roads is just basically nothing but sand and loose dirt. And it goes under there and erodes it away to the point of where the rock cannot support itself and it caves in. That is my belief of what happened. And right here you can see that there might be some evidence of that. Of where it looked like it was once connected here and then just fell away with a sinkhole. There's more I want to show you, close up of active erosion, and we will see that next. Okay, so we are at this sinkhole. This is very similar to another sinkhole in Arizona, specifically in Sedona, Arizona. I got flies all around me, sorry. There's a place in Sedona called Hell's Kitchen. And they call it that because when the first explorers came out here, they came to check out that area. And they found a giant sinkhole. And somebody said, I wonder what the devil's cooking up down there. So that is the Devil's Kitchen in Sedona, Arizona. But again, that's not where we are. We're in Texas. So I was coming here because I wanted to show you active erosion. I don't know if I can do this exactly because the sun is shining right there. But if you can see right here a little bit, it's actually being eroded away underneath there. Now that happens when the rain washes down from here. Let me zoom back out. From here, and comes all the way down in here and fills this. And it doesn't just go in here, it goes around. It goes under all this rock here. It also comes this way. Comes down here, through here, and waterfalls right into here. So I'm going to take you this way, and we're going to show you a couple spots of where you can tell there's erosion, where there's active erosion, and where the rock is showing you exactly where and what the water is doing. Now here's a spot right here of where the water comes from here down, washes into here, and heads towards the sinkhole. You can see right here that it's carved, it widens up, but this is where it's eroding. If you can look right here, it's not really eroding here because it doesn't get above here anymore, hardly at all. Let's go see some other places. Here's another good example, right here. You see how the water comes this way and this way. It's going around this rock, not so much going over it anymore. And another really good example where are we? Okay. So right here, coming around and going this way. So the water doesn't go over this rock much anymore. It channels around it, and you can see that. And then it comes through here and comes back and keeps going. You can also see little pits right here of where the water used to come over this rock. And it comes from that direction. This is a beautiful, beautiful area. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. What did we learn today? Well, we learned about the Palo Duro Canyon, the difference between this canyon and the Grand Canyon. We learned about how canyons are formed, and we looked at some evidence of ancient and active erosion. So until next time, stay wild.